And it is what it is, you know. There was this young lady who played flute. Her name was Reagan Whiteside.
Reagan,
okay?
yeah. The Bob Baldwin producers.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Now check this out. This is an excellent story, man. And you know, if you're listening and you were part of that, you know, I don't mean to offend anybody, but the one thing that we did when we got back to Whitetown, we congratulated her. We put it on our website, SounDoctrine.com. Boom. Hey, congratulations to Reagan. This is what's up. You know, she won. Boom, boom, boom. So our percussionist at the time, Kim Hines, was doing sound for Bob Baldwin. Now, we didn't know that Reagan Whiteside and Bob Baldwin,
connected.
Not at all. So Kim, he said, well, let's take this album, Endurance, let's send it to Bob and see what he thinks is the most radio-friendly cut. And he chose cut number 3 from that album called Smallmouth Bass. And he contacted me by phone, hey, man, I'm interested in remixing this. Why don't we, you know, really prepare this for radio, da-da-da. So Keith McKelly, saxophone player, and I went down to New York, and we show up at the studio, that the address that he tells me. This big, long, lanky guy comes out, right, and he's like, yo, man, Jere B, what's up, man? We love Sound Doctrine. And I'm thinking, who is this cat, right? Because I don't know this dude, right? And I'm thinking, you know, I'm in the heart of New York. Maybe something might happen. I don't know. You know, I'm not trying to be offensive.
Right.
And he came and he put his arms around us and he's like, man, you guys showed us so much love at the Capitol Jazz Fest. And I'm like, I don't know who you are. He says, well, Reagan is my fiance, man, and I'm Bob's engineer. I was like, yo. So we got up to the studio. Bob Baldwin remixed this thing. He played keys on it. He actually prepared it for radio. Got us to the Weather Channel with that cut. And, man, this brother didn't charge us anything for doing it. It was just love.
Yeah, you guys got on the Weather Channel. Because, you know, there's all kinds of different music on the Weather Channel.
Absolutely.
Got your music out on there.
Yeah.
And we talked about it at the Soul Patrol convention, too.
Yeah, we did.
How you went through that process.
Man, it was fantastic. And the thing about it is, Reagan, so what we did was we got Reagan, asked her to hook up on this cut, the third cut called Marriage on Inspire, where she played this beautiful flute, man, and just donated her love to the project. And her and Dennis ended up getting married about 3 weeks ago.
That's something.
Yeah. So it's great, man. Relationships.
Yeah.
Connections.
You know, I often talk, folks, you know how I talk about how everybody's connected. And it still goes on. We're all connected in one form or another. Because I talk to Bob from time to time.
Definitely.
And one of the people that was managing him and booking him lives here in Pittsburgh.
Oh, really?
And she started turning me on to some of his stuff a few years ago.
Wow.
You know, and yeah, I started playing Bob, and we've been connected ever since.
He's a beautiful brother.
He's a great guy. And how I met Reagan is Bob and I were covering the Berks Jazz Festival. And our Kenny, Mr. Ken from New York, who does the internet TV stuff, right? Ken Webb. We're talking to Ken Webb, and he was at the Soul Patrol convention too, a couple times.
Wow.
But Ken Webb is a legendary New York broadcaster. He's gone into like internet TV stuff.
Word.
So he was doing like his internet TV stuff at the Berks Jazz Festival, and he had this woman playing there, like on the set of the TV set, and it was Reagan.
Wow.
I'm like, I need your CD so I can take back to Pittsburgh and play on the radio.
Word up.
You know, so I've been playing her CD ever since, you know. And then I looked on there like, executive producer Bob Baldwin. You know, so everybody's
we're all connected.
You know?
We really are, and that 7 degrees of separation is really true. You know.
And then I remember when the first time that you guys played in Pittsburgh, you played at the old Rhythm House,
and that was
in Bridgeville.
Some guy named Kevin Amos was nice enough to book that show, and when you see him, thank him for me. That was a great show, man.
You know, then you guys came in, and then when I was when I was booking Stars at Riverview,
that's right.
You know, I booked you guys on that too.
Right.
You know,
did.
So I'm like, I said we might as well get like some tri-states talent in here to play in the program, and everybody agreed. So we brought you guys in for that.
And I'm looking forward to the next hit, because the one thing, and this is something in the a wrinkle in the Sound Doctrine story is, you know, we're known in Cleveland. You know, most of the musicians now that tour with us are Cleveland musicians,
right?
But we don't have an opportunity to come to Pittsburgh, and I want to try to break that because I think we have a live show that's full of energy, and I think it's an original sound, and I would love to introduce it to the Pittsburgh market. You know,
well, I think I hooked you last weekend when you came to the Jazz Fest.
That was really cool. Thunderbird Cafe.
Yeah, the Thunderbird. You heard all those different musicians playing, especially those young cats, man. It's like, wow, look at this.
High school students, man, ripping it. So yeah, I'll be back. Definitely, I'll be back in November. At least, God willing, I'll be back.
Bring some of the fellas with you.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah. So you know, that's what we're trying to do, and I again appreciate your invitation to come here with you this morning because you know want to break Sound Doctrine into the Pittsburgh area. Right. Sage Berlin, hey Sage, I know you're listening.
Oh, he listens all the
time. and Pastor Tim Smith and Bobby Fulton, and there's some connections that we've made. Yeah. So with respect to that, you know, we're just hoping to really get into a situation where Sound Doctrine can be one of the regulars that come in from right an hour away. We're right in Youngstown.
All, like we said, we're all connected. We've all worked together at one time or another on different projects together. You know, Reverend Fulton, Reverend Tim, I work with his kids, like doing stuff through the city and everything.
And there's some very talented kids. I mean, that jazz that they put out is like, wow, awesome stuff. Yeah. So we're trying, man, and this is why we're here this morning, just to say hello to Pittsburgh. They can kind of hear our voice and hear some of our music and say, hey, you know, maybe we'll give these guys a shot.
Yeah. You know, well, here we're going to play a cut from Inspire, from Sound Doctrine. And plus, you know, Jerry and I have hung out together. Yeah. We've hung out with like Victor Wooten.
Yeah, man.
You know, network with all those guys.
Iris Smith,
Soul Patrol coordinator in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Who recently lost her sister. So our condolences.
Oh, my condolences. I wasn't aware.
And my cousin Hawk Freeman.
Oh man. Now let me tell you, like, we got time for a Jerome Freeman story. Or when we come back.
Let's do it now.
Okay, Hawk, I know you're listening out there. He's in Columbus right now. Right. Okay. This is true story. Lovely brother. He was closer to Youngstown at the time, and Foley was performing in Columbus. So
if anybody who doesn't know who Foley is played with George Clinton and all kinds of
Miles Davis. Actually, he was Miles' last bass player when Miles was alive, and put out just a wonderful album that Motown didn't know what to do with. But that's another story.
Yeah. That happens a lot of people.
That's another story. But he didn't, you know, Motown didn't necessarily know how to market that type of music that Foley was jamming on.
Right.
So Jerome knew who Foley was, and we had gotten in through Soul Patrol, I believe. Went down to the club that Foley was playing at. Jerome and I had a wonderful time. Only Jerome gave me some misinformation about where I should park my vehicle. Yeah, because he knows the city, and you should park over here. This is cool. So we go in, we enjoy the show, we networking with Foley, everything is love. 2 o'clock in the morning, car is gone.
Where's my car?
Where is it? It was right here. This is where we left it. Towed. Okay? So Foley himself gave us a ride down to the towing place to get our ride back, man. And it was just, man, it was probably one of the most silent rides back. It's 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and I'm kind of perturbed, man. But man, Jerome
I can hear Jerome. I'm sorry, man. I'm really sorry.
Great in spirit, though. Brother is great, and we sat together.
Not only is he a good musician, but he's a techno geek to the max, man.
Yeah, he is.
You know,
he is. But you know, he's a wonderful, wonderful brother. We are still in touch even to this day. Wonderful.
So there you go, cuz.
Yeah, your cousin, right?
Yeah. You know, we met online.
Is that right?
And then we started talking to each other on the phone. I'm like, well, my grandmother's from Ohio. I said, that's my grandmother's maiden name. He said, your grandmother's maiden name is what?
Oh, man.
He said, so-and-so and so-and-so. I said, yeah, those are her brothers. That's how we found out we were related. I was like, wow, man, this is something small world, man.
Hey, if we keep talking, you and I might be related.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because Rovers has got a lot of folks in Ohio.
Understood.
In Ohio.
Yes, sir, Ohio.
Yeah. So it's at 10:21 here at WRCT. We got Jere B in the studio, and we're listening to Sound Doctrine. Yes, indeed. Original alternative funk jazz fusion.
That's what it is.
Still.
That's what it is.
That's right.
I don't know what else to call it.